Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope each and every one of you are having a absolutely amazing Tuesday so far. I think it's Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday. Tuesday, July 11th. Had to make sure my calendars were straight. Oh, let's see what we got going on the day. We got baseball. The All-Star game is going to be coming up here later tonight. So for those watching, I hope you have a grand old time. And for those in Seattle watching the game live, I also hope you have a grand old time there as well. Today, what I want to talk about is I want to go back to this concept. I talked about it briefly a little while back, maybe about a month or two ago, but I really want to reiterate this concept of everything that is possible, everything that can be done, all starts within the mind. Now, I went into a conversation about how that's possible through just everything technology-wise that we have, including this camera that I'm talking to you on, as well as this swing that I'm swinging myself on, and even this hat, right? Now this hat, for example, let's just start off with the hat. The hat, this is a fun little story I could share with y'all, but as far as the hat itself, the hat says, let me tell you a story. Now, the only reason this hat was brought into existence is because of that catchphrase, right? Let me tell you a story. That has been my catchphrase for, quite a while now, and we don't need myself to tell you that's my catchphrase. All my friends and family have heard me say that particular phrase a certain number of times to a certain extent, but it was in the mind, right? It was in the mind that not only did this hat that is on my head have to be infused, created with those words inscribed on here, but the hat itself had to be created as well. Now, I'll tell you, this is a gift from an absolutely amazing friend of mine. I can remember specifically what was going on during that time as well. And I thought it was very, very nice and still very speechless. Just thinking back to that day. Me accepting this hat right here. And of course, it had to have the navy blue color. And the reason it had that navy blue color, by the way, is because I am a avid Denver Broncos fan. We got to make sure we have the blue and orange right there. So I bring up that short story just again to remind everybody that this hat could not have been created without a few things coming into place that started with the mind. First, I had to start with the fact that catchphrase had to be invented first in order for this phrase inside of my hat or on my hat, or yeah, let's just go with on my hat. Let's make it simple. But the phrase let me tell you a story had to be created first. Then we had to decide that I was a fan of hats, and I've got many hats. It's one of my favorites, and I joke around with people. It's like, yeah, this hat has seldom come off, and as you can see, it's got a little wear and tear on it, as it should. This has been with me for about, at this point, almost 4 years. And also, we have to consider the fact that I thought of my favorite color being blue, specifically navy blue, which allowed this hat and this color to exist. So that's just one particular aspect. And another thing that we can go ahead and talk about is this podcast, right? Or me just creating these videos. I don't know if we really want to consider it a podcast, but maybe this video series. See, it all had to start from the mind, right? About, okay, well, I want to go ahead and do these videos. Sometimes I'm like this, sometimes I'm actually stationary, and sometimes it's very short videos. But at the end of the day, these are videos for me to get a specific message across. And that message is, I want to go ahead and allow people to be able to start thinking about the things that they want to do, start thinking about things more expansively, broaden the mind a bit, get us from our, this is not the right word, so forgive me for lack of phrase, but from our small-minded thinking to now thinking about some bigger things out in this world. So that was all in my mind. Plus, make it, easily accessible on the YouTubes of the world and the Instagrams and the Facebooks and the other social media platforms that I cannot even begin to describe, because I know that there are other people out there that could think more specifically about what those social media platforms are, but that is what we have to start out with. Then, let's not make this about an hour, because I've done those particular podcast episodes before, 30 minutes to an hour, and it's a lot. It's a lot for people to watch. You know, I if I wanted to, of course, we could certainly maybe talk about that in the future, but I know for right now, hey, somewhere along the lines of either at or below 10 minutes is absolutely perfect for me. So with all these thoughts in mind, that's how we went ahead and we created this content that we've been creating. And I'm not here to, pat myself on the back and say, hey, well done, you've been able to do that. But I'm just giving you the thought process behind what it takes to create something truly, in my humble opinion, unique and creative. Being able to take action on the things that are in my mind already. And so again, I bring this up because we all have these things that we do indeed believe are possible, in the mind. And there are going to be other things in our minds that we take away from long after this video that are going to be thought of, and they're going to be brought into this universe, into this realm that we call Earth, long after I'm gone, long after you're gone, long after somebody's gone, because we'll never stop thinking of ways to improve ourselves. The universe, this Earth, is always going to be constantly changing. Just think about 20 years ago. I'd not be able to do what I'm doing right now with this technology in this capacity. It would be, the technology wasn't around at that point. Yet somebody thought, hey, let's make some technology that can do all these things in combination with, hey, let me bring in a particular unique idea where I could use this technology to my advantage. So think about in the next 10 years, what are some of y'all going to be able to think about in the mind that will ultimately transition into this reality? And it all started because you thought about that, right? Think about it again. Everything that we truly desire in this life, everything that we truly want, and I mean want. I'm not talking like top, like surface level. I'm talking about what we really, really want deep down inside, is gonna need to start from the mind. When you start thinking about these things, having these thoughts, and then from there we're gonna ingratiate, or we're gonna put in the secret ingredient from our emotion, from a place of love, from a place of why, or a place of fuel in the fire that allow us to become an ember, where our embers will never die, because our fires will never die, because we always come back to that why. And so some of the things that I think will be really helpful is to start journaling. I think journaling has been so important for me and I was just looking back at a Facebook post. I started journaling about 2 years ago, since July of 2021. Now, I remember when I first started journaling, how I first heard about it. Shout out to Jake Ducey, thank you for the scripting technique. And ever since then, the things I've been able to think of, the things I've been able to put into a desire aspect of just understanding that how I used to think now is completely different from how I used to think back then. And I know that ultimately, the way that I think, what's going to be inside my mind, will be ever shifting because of the things I've been able to do from this point onward. And I know that those thoughts that will be in my mind will shift and shift and shift, and because this universe will shift and shift and shift. And it's an absolutely beautiful thing. And again, one thing you want to take away from this is those thoughts, those pieces of information, take it one step at a time. So everybody, before we go, got 3 very important words for you. Be great, be favored, be the person you desire you're destined to become. Thank you.